Hello, dear viewers. Today we will share with you the secrets of effective communication. Communication is the cornerstone of both our personal and professional lives, and we will see how we can change our lives with the right techniques. Let's start without waiting and take this journey together. We come into this world alone. Even twins are alone. One is born after the other. In the end, we leave the world alone again, from birth to death, until the need to communicate with our environment. We need to communicate. The need to communicate is essential for all living things. Valid. This study is limited to people. How to realize effective communication? The answer to this question is, we'll find it. Communication is a characteristic of all living things. There are many ways to communicate. Some of them, we recognize them immediately. Others need to be searched for. With spoken or written words between people, we can make it real. Without the need for words. With our emotions, with our behavior, with our clothes, we can make it happen. We can also communicate through silence. Animals speak the same language. Even if they don't understand, we can teach them things. They can communicate with us in their own way. Pets. When we think of animals, the first things that come to mind are cats, dogs, and birds. In ancient times, pigeons carried letters. Dogs too. Good sense of smell so they can locate criminals. To carry the cargo. Horses, donkeys carry loads, bear. And monkeys entertain people in shows. We would not be able to educate animals if communication were not possible. As children, we are raised on animal stories. Cartoon. And there are animal characters in movies. Plants also communicate in the root zone. Bacteria that regulate nitrogen. And help soil fertility. Flowers. They attract insects with their colors and scent. Communication starts early. When the baby is in the womb, the mother and the baby, to communicate with each other. Over time, the bond between them develops. Indians believe that the mother's thoughts, that it influenced him. Son of Arjuna in the Mahabharata. Abhimanyu learned the art of war in the womb, that she learns. Mother and baby in a short time adapt to each other and learn to communicate. They learn. The first sounds babies learn are N and Pa. Voices. Over time, thanks to what they see at home, the more sounds he learns. His education continues at school. It continues in various ways in the future. Work. Those who can communicate well in life are generally more is good doctors, lawyers, managers, engineers. Two aspects are important for effective communication. One is information, and puts it in a form that the other can understand. Information transmitted. With an obstacle in the case that the other person will receive. That person is suffering from attention deficit or maybe due to a lack of interest in the subject. The quality of our lives depends on how much is directly proportional to how we respond. Reading makes you human. Talking prepares you, and writing completes the human being. School-like education to learn spoken language use. Institutions are not necessary. As people in the neighborhood talk, is learned, it is the mother tongue. All languages are spoken, is formed. Spoken language is a language in which one person says something to another person. Is the production of language through the mouth to say things. Most interviews are conducted in spoken language. What is said? When there is a desire to record, written language emerges. Written language is more structured than spoken language. English was developed as a result of the development of industry and trade around the world. Has become an international language. Language is alive. It evolves over time to meet needs. Is in constant change. The difference between written and spoken language in communication. Differences are observed. Pronunciation, tone of voice, facial expressions. Body language affects communication. In writing, the differences in meaning are not so marked. Word. The more you develop your vocabulary, the more effective you communicate. The more you emphasize, the better you will understand their meaning. Spelling and punctuation is very important. Punctuation. Signs, separation of words and ideas. Relevant. Like it allows ideas to coexist. Help. Excessive use of punctuation is as bad as not using it at all. It must be used in its proper place. Most people think that good writing. They shy away from writing for fear of not being able to write. Learn the simple techniques of writing and help yourself. If you trust, you can move forward. Take your paper and start writing as if you were talking to the other person. Write your message, what you want to emphasize, and identify your priorities. Put them in order. Make an impressive entrance. What you put in order. Write your ideas in paragraphs. Common. You can mention the points in a paragraph. Last. You can revise and finish it. Short to the reader. You can do your best to convey a lot of information. You must do your best. 5 elements of effective written communication. These are *clear. You should clearly say what to do. *precise. The main purpose of the message must be clear. *polite. Requests are more effective than orders. *convincing. The reader should be convinced that the request will be realized. Must be convinced that it is necessary. *complete. Communication must leave no doubt. Learning nonverbal communication means that in everyday life, the meaning of the gestures we encounter is to learn to upload. People also communicate through bodies. Observe people and yourself. Then analyze. Get it. For example, if a person is nervous, their hands shake, they start sweating. Begins. Over time, voluntary or involuntary facial expressions. You'll start to realize facial expressions are very is important. It expresses all emotions. Most of the time, we can tell by facial expressions what the other person is feeling. By looking at it. Smiling because of arrogance. Whether it's out of happiness or happiness. We can distinguish whether there is fear or compassion in the eyes. We can. Another important tool is the hands. Delivery. Hands are raised in the air. Defense. We cross our hands on our chest. When we are tense, we cross our arms and cross the upper arm. We tie it tightly with our hands. As in athletes. Like when we put our hands on our hips. That we are. Hands joined behind the back. An upturned chin is a symbol of overconfidence. Couples. To show ownership. Tabor. And when we knock on the chair, we say we're looking for trust. Shows. People also show different behaviors while sitting. Is found. Dominance, sitting in a high chair. While crossing your legs is a sign of defensiveness. Is a demeanor. The way one walks is what distinguishes one person from another. Is one of the characteristics. Everyone has their own walk. Attitude. People who have clear objectives walks briskly, waving his arms. Head in the air, arms outstretched. If it's walking at an adjusted, impressive speed. He's a pompous man. Grieving and disappointed. With their heads bowed, rarely looking straight ahead. They walk. Everybody is different, you can't be somebody else. Don't work. Self-confidence is important in the communication process. The important thing is to get the message across. If you think you cannot do something, you can't. Believe in yourself and think about success. Every habit that one has is a habit. With good habits. If we have good habits, we are good people. In everyday life, people do not pay attention to each other. It is up to the attention of the receiver to convey the whole message. Depends. For effective communication, the message must be approved. Make a self-assessment. You need to communicate with yourself and try to understand yourself. You have to work. Prayer helps, nothing else. Even if you can't, there is God in everyone and you should try to talk to Him. Think success. A good listener to achieve effective communication. To be. For this, the listening process is followed. Can be. Feeling. It is the hearing of the message. Interpretation. It is the understanding of what is heard. Evaluation. Having an opinion about what is said. Is the creation of. Remembering. Creating the message for future use. Hiding. Responding. It is the acceptance of what is said. Noise, annoyance, restlessness, fatigue, etc. Factors affect the listening process. Despite these factors, to be a good listener, you need to be able to make eye contact with the speaker. Make contact. Sit with your back in an upright position. Size. What kind of benefits the transferred knowledge has for you. Will provide. With your thoughts. Summarizing it in your own words if it overlaps. Confirm. The best way to transfer knowledge. Are books. How many homes do we see books, or how many people have magazines? Membership. Some of them were taken the day they were picked up, and it just sits there. But you can't get back. We need to read constantly so that we don't run out. What to read? Read the short texts on the back of the books when choosing. Don't make a decision based on the outer cover. Purpose. Choose that book accordingly. Your reading activity. Read as much as you can to increase your exposure. Over time, increase your field of vision. Read more and more at the same time. Read word by word. Find the main ideas of the topic and reflect on it. Read from your mind. Use your skills and abilities for success. Improve. What should be considered in the process of effective communication? Points. Asterisk the communication process for human beings begins in the womb. Asterisk the person receiving the message is as important as the person transmitting the message. Asterisk oral language is the primary form of communication. Asterisk language is in constant change. Asterisk the basis of personal communication is one-to-one communication. Asterisk strong knowledge of language is the key to good communication between two people. Lays the foundation for communication. Asterisk written communication can only be conveyed through a language. Asterisk language skills are based on vocabulary. Asterisk drawings will always be of value in written communication. Increases. Asterisk body language is as important as spoken and written language. Asterisk few people have good communication skills. Asterisk for self-assessment. It is important to identify strengths and weaknesses. Should be determined. Asterisk a person who does not listen well cannot communicate. Asterisk learning is an ongoing process. Asterisk good speaking skills require patience. Asterisk imagine yourself as successful. Asterisk use ready-made cards if you have time constraints. Asterisk in life you have to face various situations. Maintain confidence in situations. Final summary. Communication is an important part of life. Understanding and have communication skills developed through training is possible. Effective communication at home, in the workplace, and between success and defeat at many points in life makes the difference. Trust is built on good communication, knowledge and experience. Comes out. See yourself as a successful individual in a way that you can realize the success you dream of. Focus. Prepare your action plan. Goals. Determine work for success. You will face many obstacles in this process. You may encounter, but don't let this discourage you. With the support of friends and good people, keep your life going. Be committed to effective communication. Follow the rules of etiquette and good manners. Today we have told you the tricks of effective communication. I hope this information will be useful and make a positive contribution to your life. If you have any questions or comments, please share them below. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Bye.